Hey everyone, welcome back to the Blueprint Nursing YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about how I usually studied for exams in nursing school. This method was born out of trial and error and helped me prioritize what to study for exams. So what do you say? Should we jump right in? So you probably took a questionnaire about your learning styles at some point, right? I've always found that I was a kinesthetic learner, which means I like to feel or move to learn new material. I need to manipulate the traditional classroom lectures and notes to fit my learning style. Eventually, I found that a combo of things like repetition and concept maps, adding coffee and color coding, helped me retain the material much longer than the brain dump for the exam sort of study. Starting back in anatomy and physiology, I found that recording and listening to lectures helped me fill in any blanks in my notes. This became a main staple for my study method. Then, I fell in love with concept maps in med-surg class. I manipulated them to fit any subject. I'd use them for pharm, pathophys, or dysrhythmias. They organized info in a way that I wouldn't have on my own. I would use flashcards from time to time, but they never fully clicked with me. But this last bit, it really isn't a study method, but I would always study with friends. Whether we talked about the materials or we just sat studying in silence, I found that body doubling, which is a productivity technique where you have someone else around probably doing the same thing as you are to help keep you focused, it was helpful in my studies. Eventually, as I'm sure you have or will experience, you'll try out different study techniques and they'll meld together to become your own. Well, this is what happened for me. I'll model the technique while I discuss it. First, I'd gather my notes and recorded lecture. I'd sit down, pop in my headphones, and rewrite my notes in a traditional note format. After I rewrote my notes, I'd cross-reference anything I didn't understand right off the bat with my textbook. Then, I'd grab my markers and create my concept map. For this video, we'll do a tiny concept map of the ABCDE of prioritization. I draw out my concept map on a blank sheet of paper and repeat the process for however many notes I have to copy. This next step wouldn't happen necessarily right away. I'd fit it in usually according to my exam schedule. After I have my concept map drawn up, I'd review it and place it face down. With one color marker, I'd write out everything I remembered from the original concept map. It's completely normal to leave a lot out at this step, so don't worry. It's important not to overwork yourself here. Don't try to strain your brain to get everything on the paper. Once you're done writing everything down, take a breath, flip the original sheet over. I'd repeat the process of rewriting the concept map from memory and filling in the forgotten material until I felt comfortable or met my personal study limit. So maybe only instead of recalling the A, B, and C, I'd recall the A, B, C, and E by the end of my process. I wouldn't do it just like this every time. There's a lot of room for changing up the process here. So if you try this out, do what fits your needs. This method helped me work with the material in a way that fit my learning style. I'm not great with auditory or visual learning, so finding a way to make the material tangible was huge for me. It also helped me prioritize what to study. So after I did an initial review of the material and end up with a final product of what I usually forgot, I know that when I review the ABCs, I really need to work on the D and the E. Instead of studying everything repeatedly, I'd study everything initially and maybe study my forgotten material more thoroughly. Well, that's it for my little study method. Go ahead and take what you want and leave the rest. Here's a review of the material that was used in this. Thanks for stopping by, everyone. I hope that you found that my study method was helpful and that it'll help you create your own. Check out our live study groups and self-paced crash courses to help in your studies too. Remember to stay hydrated, take breaks when you study, and come back to Blueprint Nursing for anything you need. See you later, future nurses.